Alright everybody, here we are, and hopefully I'm not gonna be facing the network issue. And today again we will be continuing with the same stuff, and that is working on this particular project. And if I don't face the issue, I will continue and I will keep working on this project for 2 hours. In case I'm gonna be facing some issues, then I'll have to do something or the other. So let's see how it's gonna be going on. I think right now it is just working well. Let me do one more thing. So here we are. So overall setup is ready right now. I hope I'm audible. Am I or not? So overall setup is ready right? Yeah, I am audible. So without any, these are the to-dos that we have to just get done. Let's see how many things we can cover today. And apart from this particular thing, let me spin up barrier here. Enter the IP address, and that is around 10 point. This point, this point, this. Started, and right now it is working well. Alrighty, so what I want to do, first of all, let's focus on this particular part right here. Add meeting history. There are other things as well. We are gonna be focusing on them, but even before even that, there is something called ask user to enter the meeting title and turn on the camera, mic before joining the meeting. And before even that, there was something like this. Make sure that when you turn on the camera, at that time tracks are added to peer connection. So what was happening so far? That let me open eraser here, and hopefully network is good. Yeah, that's good. So coming back to this one, if I just simply remove this, so what actually happens over here, that if I have the camera, suppose I created a peer connection. Okay, this is the peer connection. By default, I try to get the camera and mic. If they are there, if they are available, then they simply get the tracks get attached to this peer connection. And if in case they are not available, then nothing happens over there. What I actually want, that by default, what is actually happening over here, that I'm gonna be getting the streams of mic and camera. So I got the stream, and then I'm gonna be what I'm doing right now. So once I got the stream, I'm just simply there is a audio track and there is video track, and I'm just simply disabling that. So it is also disabled, and this is also disabled, and they are just simply getting added. So once I have this stream, so this particular stream is just simply getting attached to this peer connection, added to this peer connection. So in this way, whenever the participant joins the meeting for the first time, they are available but they are disabled, and because of that thing, peer connection will not like other person will not see anything. And when they are enabled, at that time the other person starts receiving the things and all. So this is what happening right now. And what am I supposed to be doing? There is a problem, or there is a flaw in this one, that if I don't have the stream when the peer connection gets established, no streams are gonna be attached to this peer connection. So the next time when I'm turning on the camera, it is quite obvious. Why? Let me test this thing out. Let me go to Google Meet. What exactly happens here? Select this, create a meeting for, not meeting for later, instant meeting, and there is no camera as such right now. So I'm in the meeting, camera unavailable, close other apps that might try again. Okay, I'm not able to use those cameras. Great. So if I turn it on, nothing is gonna happen. By the way, if other participant joins, suppose let me make other participant join the same meeting. I'll actually have to go through this step, otherwise it. Suppose this is the participant. No thanks. I'm gonna be turning on the meet here. Once this is done, it will just simply join this meeting. Asks to join, and let me allow the participant over here. So right now what is happening, both of them are in the meeting, none of them have the camera. So even if I turn on the camera, it's gonna be saying unavailable. If I start sharing the screen, it is able to share the screen on its own side. The same thing is actually happening over here as well. So ultimately in this case what is happening, that whenever I'm sharing the screen, at that time a new connection gets created, a new peer connection gets made, and that is responsible for sharing the screen and all. That is fine. And by the way, as there is no camera, so I'm unable to turn on this. Use camera, allow this time, and then it's gonna be saying again. Okay, understood. Even this is not a big problem, by the way, in our case as well. The thing is pretty simple. If there is no camera, of course you cannot really do anything, and that's what we are doing here. The extra thing that we are doing in Google Meet case, that is we are actually adding this, the camera stuff, whenever I'm clicking on this. So will it work? I have the peer connection, and once I have the peer connection, whenever I'm clicking on the camera, at that time I'm generating the stream and adding it there. Let me take the help of AI over here. What should I actually do? Hey, what is the better approach? Suppose I have a peer connection, so adding the streams directly when the meeting starts, or whenever the peer connection gets created, so adding the streams directly to the peer connections or the tracks and disabling them. So suppose there is a camera and mic, so disabling them and then just simply adding it to the peer connection, and then whenever I click on the camera, at that time I'm just simply gonna be enabling those tracks one by one depending on the need. And the another way is that whenever I click on camera and mic icon, at that time I'm adding the tracks directly to the peer connection. So which one is a better way? Tell me. Let's see. This is very practical WebRTC design decision, and choosing the right approach affects performance, UX, and complexity. Approach 1. Add tracks early, keep them disabled. Create a stream at start, add tracks to peer connections, enable or disable later. How it works? When meeting starts, get user media is called. Tracks, audio and video are added to the RTC peer connection. Tracks are initially disabled, track.enabled false. When the user clicks on the mic, just toggle this. Yeah, pros. Instant toggle, no delay, no renegotiation needed, smooth UX like Google Meet and Zoom. Peer connection already aware of the tracks. Okay. Cons, camera mic permission requested early even if user doesn't use it. That's right. Slight resource uses camera initialized even if off. That's right. Approach 2. Add tracks only when user clicks. Lazy load tracks only when needed. How it works? At restart, no video tracks added when user clicks camera. Call get a user media. Add tracks to peer connection. Add a track. Triggers renegotiation. Pros. Better privacy. No early camera mic access. Saves resources initially. Cons. Delay when turning on camera mic. Requires renegotiation complex. More logic handle offer answer. Again, can cause glitches during live call. Final verdict important. Best practice used in real apps like Google Meet. Approach 1. Add tracks early. Toggle enabled. Wow. Why this is preferred? Because WebRTC connections are sensitive to change. Adding and removing tracks triggers negotiation. Renegotiation can cause delays, bugs, race conditions. Instead, keep tracks attached. Just control the flow of the media using enabled. Pro tip advanced, instead of removing the tracks, you can also track.enable false, better control, replace track null, stop sending. So instead of disabling that, I can just simply not send any track at all. Best for production apps, use the RTC PPR connection. Okay, replace to switch streams, camera and screen share. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, not really big problem. What I recommend you, okay, that's fine. We are okay with this. By the way, if you are joining the meeting, so you must have that camera on and all. And in case if you don't have, then that's your problem, bro. You should have a camera, right? So this particular thing, then ask user to enter title and turn on the camera. Enter the meeting title. Let me just simply have it really quick. I'm just simply gonna be prompting the user to just simply enter the title, and that is it. This is how it's gonna be going on. So in my real application, whenever the user joins the meeting, so alrighty, connection failed. I knew I would face this issue. Okay, I hope it's gonna be connected again. Yeah, it is getting. I knew that I will be facing the network issue for sure, and that is why I was a bit hesitant about going live in the morning, but okay. Meeting. So whenever the user joins the meeting for the first time, right, in this particular case, I'm setting the participant. Even I have to fix this thing. So let me fix it like this. Inside the state, what was I doing? Store meeting.ts. Whenever I'm resetting everything, I'm not gonna be resetting the current participant. This is how it's gonna be going on. And apart from it, it will be null by default. I should be keeping it null as well. Current. Then because of this, I'm gonna be getting the issue. Participant. If I keep it null again. Yesterday I was facing the issue. Let's see today I'm gonna be facing the same or not. Participant. Current participant. What is the problem with this? The typing is the problem. Okay, got it. Like type. So I'm gonna be going to the state. I'm gonna just simply say that the value can be actually a real participant, or the value can be just null at the end. But because of this thing, I'm gonna be facing the issues. So let's simply fix them one by one. By the way, when I'm setting the participant, at that time I'll definitely have the participant. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Otherwise, I have a I do have a solution. I can just simply remove this null from here, and this will I mean I can just simply stop resetting the value of the user, and it will work fine. But let's see. And there's high chance of facing the same issue, but okay, never mind, we will fix it really quick. And the next thing is that we have to prompt the user to just simply enter the meeting name, and then we have to save the meeting details and all. This is done. Let's click on sign in. So new meeting. Yeah, obviously React has detected this render. This was something that was bound to happen. React has detected a change in the order of hooks called by video grid. This will lead bugs and errors if not fixed. Rendered more hooks than during the previous render. So ultimately there were 2 re-renders, and this time it is rendering more hooks. Inside the video grid. Okay, so let's check this thing out. Let me go to the video grid. I'm not gonna be stepping back. I had better fix this bug only. That why am I getting this issue? So initially the second time when the page re-renders, at that time it renders more hooks or a few hooks. So what was the issue? Rendered more hooks than during the previous render. Okay, so it just renders more hooks in that case. So in that case, I better go to meeting components, video, and of course the video section. Inside this I have this video grid. Inside this video grid I have these things. And it is all about hooks. So ultimately I have use effect, screen share, mic on, camera on, and this normal one. In that case, remote registering version, other participants, the value of other participants doesn't really change. So what is the issue? Current participant, by default it was null. This is the issue. If I turn it off, I'm gonna be getting the error here, but at least it should be. Cannot destructure the property of mic on and camera on. That is the issue right now. And if I have this, so what happens when it renders for the first time? The current user does not exist, and as the current user does not exist, I'm not gonna have these values. That simply means these it's conditionally is something that is causing the issue. But if I do not do this, then the value of the camera on and mic on is not gonna be available here. That is something I also need to keep in mind. The value of camera on and mic on, they should be default. Alrighty, so that is the issue. So if I go to the current participant, use meeting, what I want that the current participant that I have, it should have few things by default, but those things are gonna be so ultimately it's gonna be an object. Yeah, let's see. So what those things are going to be. If I go to the state, participant, these are the values, control C, let me be back, where should I go now? Okay, here, let me paste these things and see what's gonna happen. So ID, I'm not gonna be having ID by default. These are the values that it has by default. ID empty string, username empty string, profile URL empty string, meeting ID empty string, meeting title empty string, mic on false, camera on false, hand raise false, is host false, just like this. These question marks need to be removed, and this is how I'm gonna be going at. So I have the current participant, and there's nothing in that particular participant, and these are the default values that I have. And later what I'm gonna say, the default value is this, and when I'm resetting this, so I'm gonna be resetting it with this value only. So the current participant will become this one. So instead of keeping it null, the value is actually gonna be this, just like this. And let me remove it from here. So this is how the values are going to be reset. And if I actually talk about the types over here, instead of keeping it null, I'm just gonna be saying that the type is gonna be just the participant. So this way, hopefully I should not be getting the error. Yeah, now I'm not. If I leave the meeting, I'm able to leave the meeting as well, and that's what I wanted. So yeah, we have fixed this. Okay, what is the next thing that we have to do? The next thing that we have to do here, that is video section. Not even the video section, whenever I'm joining the meeting. So the main page.tsx. Here what am I doing? The meeting title, that is this by default, but I'm actually gonna be doing that. I will have a prompt over here. Prompt, enter the meeting title. Once I have the prompt, I will be getting the meeting title from there, and this is how it's gonna be going on. Once I have the meeting title, we'll continue. If I don't have, then of course I won't continue. So this particular thing is done, and other participants, it's not quite being used over here. Alrighty, as it is not being used, so I'm gonna be cutting it, as simple as that. Let's see whether it works as expected or not. So created the meeting, enter the meeting title, suppose new. I'll have to enter twice because of course I'm on the development mode. So probably this is gonna be HTML meeting. Okay, so HTML meeting, this is it. I can definitely turn on the camera, but I cannot, probably because I don't have the Iron webcam turned on. Done. Other webcams like Iron that can give me demo camera to enable or disable while testing. Let's see. Several webcams as virtual and provide enable and disable demo pre-recorded video functionality testing similar to Iron. Manycam. This one is one of the best tools for testing. It acts as a virtual camera that allows you to add multiple sources, including pre-recorded videos, static images. You can toggle. Okay, let's go with this one. Live video made better. So just lets me add more things, right? Let me try this. So is this for Ubuntu or not? Click on download for Windows, download for Mac. This is not for Ubuntu. For Ubuntu. Okay, so there is something called DroidCam OBS. DroidCam is the closest alternative to Iron. DroidCam Ubuntu Linux client DroidCam, and DroidCam Linux, DroidCam webcam and OBS camera. So I'm redirected here only. So get the DroidCam on your app or phone, install. Ubuntu install. Flatpak install this OBS Studio. OBS Project Studio plugin DroidCam. Flatpak install. Okay, what is the next one? Next step, DroidCam OBS usage, OBS camera guide. Download install using DroidCam client. So this way I'm gonna be getting it right. Okay, let's go with this. Mm-hmm. And the next step is this, to just simply install it using the wget. Yeah. Okay, this seems to be done. Let me just simply install it right now. And of course, yes. And hopefully this is gonna be actually installed. Seems to be done. Will I be getting it here? Droid cam. Yeah, here it is. Well, seriously, am I crazy? Add a phone or camera. It is unable to find that. Okay, that's fine. Enable. Well, I don't really need to add this. I just need it to be available. So is this gonna be available next time onwards? Let's see. Reload the page. Reset the permissions. Reload it again. So now I'm getting UVC. What is this for? Allow. It doesn't really make any difference. So when it comes to the camera, okay, no camera has been added to this, if I'm not wrong, and that is why I'm facing the issue. In that case, enable audio. Go to Droid app, help more details. Make sure that Droid cam is open and your device is discoverable. Wi-Fi IP. Wi-Fi IP enable audio. What is the IP of the Wi-Fi? Just a sec. Let me try to add this. Enable audio. At least audio is gonna be enabled. 10.1 and 0. Hello. Well, my mobile is really far, so I'm not even sure whether it's gonna be working. And resolution, everything else is same. Fine. Can I add more things here? Device. It is just like OBS, but hopefully I should be add settings always on top, view, full screen, help, enable window, add a color source image. That's what I want to add. Okay, browse the image, downloads, files, and suppose this is the one that I want to use. Done. So this image, oh yeah, it's so big. This is the image that I want to use. Just something like this would be better, or probably like this. Yeah, so this is the image that I have. It's gonna be visible over there in the camera, and as for the audio, it doesn't really matter. And hopefully once I have this, so whenever I refresh the page now, come on, iReam webcam is like this. UVC camera, it should be giving me some kind of result, but it is not giving me. I have iReam webcam, I have UVC camera only. I have to restart my OBS for that. But how would this? Localhost 3000. Let's simply click on sign in, new meeting, and This is UVC camera. Haven't I started anything or what? I have done whatever I'm supposed to be doing. So why am I not getting the result here? I do have the camera, it's just that I'm not able to add this. Alright, then never mind. Let's forget about this. Let me just simply allow this, and it is gonna be allowed. I can just simply turn on the camera like this. What else? Okay. Apart from this particular thing, the thing is that I have to click on the leave meeting twice. So if I click on this, okay, it's not gonna be working in one go. I'll rather have to click on this twice. Why is that happening? Oh, why is that happening? So whenever I'm clicking on the leave meeting, the whole state gets reset, and when I'm actually ending the meeting at that time, so I'm resetting everything. Or how would just simply leaving the room first of all. Yeah, this sort of works. So here we are. I'm just simply gonna leave, and this simply leaves the meeting. If I keep it at the end, then what happens? If I actually keep it at the end, this it's gonna be delayed, and because of this thing I have to click twice. Yeah, because of this thing, because there is this await that happens, like first of all I'm gonna be deleting all the chats and all, and that will be just simply awaiting, and because of that thing this routing doesn't happen. So I'm gonna be keeping it at the top so that it just gets routed properly and the remaining things happen. Done. Okay, so what is the next thing that I can do? I'm able to save the name. I'm prompted, enter the meeting title and all. And once this particular thing is done, the next thing is what are the next to do's? Make connection. Okay, that's not really big problem. Add user, event title, that's also done. Make sure meeting ends in one click, that is done. Current participant here, that is done. So we have gone through all these things. Add meeting history. Let's work on this one. I'm gonna be adding meeting history over here. So when it comes to, well, even this is not what I want. It could be better. But okay, for now this is fine. Better in the sense I can create another page. That page will be asking for the user to enter the meeting title and all. That can also be done, but for now this is fine. What is the next thing that I can do? Adding the meeting history. And when it comes to adding the meeting history over here, so whenever I join the meeting, right, page.t6, and probably in here I have all the meeting information. I'm setting the current participant. Once the current participant has been set, at that time I'm gonna be saving the meeting history. Meeting history in the sense what all it will contain. So the WebSocket connection, this is how it goes, and this thing needs to be done here. But the question is, okay, you are doing that, you have to set the meeting history or save meeting history. You have to do this. What all you need to have inside that is something I need to think about. So when it comes to the meeting history, so let's simply delete this. This is gonna be one of the steps. So meeting history, how many fields do I want inside this? I want the name of the meeting, I want the starting time, so starting time, or even better, created at, ended at, and what else? Oh, that is it. Probably duration. duration will automatically be calculated based on created at and added at. So these are the things that I need, and that is it, nothing else. Right. And when the last participant leaves the meeting, at that time, this is gonna be one more thing, is live. That's gonna be false by default, but whenever it gets created, this will become true. And when the last participant leaves the meeting, at that time, what will happen, that this will become false again, otherwise live will be there and you can still join the meeting even after leaving that. Okay, that's fine, that will be there, understood. So this is how things are gonna be going on. First of all, I have to save these things. So when it comes to saving, so I need to have a collection here. I can just simply create a function. And what kind of function is this? Utilities, capitalize get user. This is gonna be sort of inside live only, or probably inside helpers. And that's gonna be related to what? I'm already inside this, right? Meeting page.tsx. This is the page.tsx that I'm on, and as I'm on this right now, components context page.tsx. Why not create a helper functions here only, just for the meeting? This is gonna be just the helper function for the meeting. So helpers, just like this, and inside this I will have something called save or meeting history.ts, just like this, and export const meeting or save meeting history async. This will be responsible for saving the meeting history in the database. I actually need to create a server action for this. It will not work directly, it needs to be server actions. If I want to save something directly in the database, that's right, otherwise I will have to make a request. So as I'm working with this thing right now, let me delete the whole thing. Probably here I have to create action.ts, and here export const save meeting history async. This is how it's gonna be going on. I will be getting a few things. This is gonna be use server. Am I still facing the network issue? Even if I'm facing, can't really do anything, but let's see. Coming back to this one, I have to just simply save it to the database. What else? Try catch block. I need to get a const what? I have to get the, I'm already creating a collection for that. So if I go to the DB, inside DB collections, I have this meeting collection. The name is nothing but the meeting itself. So meeting collection, I'm gonna be getting meetings from there. Alrighty, meetings are gonna be equals to meeting collection from RepoDB. Once I have this, I'm actually gonna be awaiting this. It will in turn just call the database. So I got the meeting collection, it is just simply calling the DB as well, so that's right. And once I have this, once I have the meetings, then I will be getting the meeting payload. Meeting payload, what is gonna be the type? For now, let's keep the type really simple. It will have the meeting name, meeting title. Okay, these are the things that it will have. So meeting title, that's gonna be string. I'm gonna be saving it probably. Just like this. Let's simply keep it here. Again, this needs to be deleted. So overall, it will have a meeting title. It will have is live. That's gonna be nothing but boolean. And what else? let me add it here first, and created at, it's gonna be date, ended at, it's also gonna be type of date, duration of the meeting, that's gonna be date as well. Will it be date? Yeah, duration in the milliseconds, probably. Yeah, that's right. Like how many? Duration. So I will be subtracting ended at minus created at. I will be getting the duration, and then I have to get the date in milliseconds. So ultimately time. Let's see. What is the type? What should be the type of duration? What should be the type of duration in a meeting? Should I keep it date or just a normal string? It depends on what you mean by duration, how you plan to use it. Let's break it down. Duration, length of the meeting, 30 minutes and 1 hour. This is not a date, that's right. We will be subtracting it all, but duration is a time span, not a time. A time span, not a time stamp. Best practices, 36 1 hour. So why store duration in seconds? So I'm gonna be doing that. Once it is stored, store start time and end time. Yeah, that's right. And the duration is gonna be this. So 1 hour 20 minutes. Option 3. You automatically get duration, also useful for analytics, billing and all. By the way, when we am I crazy? I already have the values of started, like created at, or I can even say start a time, end a time. So I can just simply subtract it anytime, and I can just simply get the duration. So even keeping it this much is enough. Okay, so these are the things that I'm gonna be getting once I have these things. I even have this what meetings here. So db dot, how do we call this once I have this? So if I actually wanna save something inside this particular meetings, so meetings dot, yeah, I'm gonna be getting an option here. So I'm gonna be inserting 1, and what will that value be? Meeting I'm using MongoDB over here, right? And when it comes to this, so the meeting payload that I have, that should automatically be saved, nothing else. The meeting payload, just like this. So insert 1, there's gonna be a document. That document will be containing the value of the meeting payload. That is it. I'm gonna be awaiting it over here, and that's more than enough. Once this is done, once I have actually saved this, let's see what data am I gonna be getting. Something like this. Hopefully it's gonna be working. By the way, save a meeting history. I'm gonna be calling it here, just like this. It is inside a news effect. That means it needs what? Meeting details. Meeting payload const meeting payload, that's gonna be equals to meeting title, that's gonna be meeting title is gonna be equals to meeting title. Apart from this particular thing, there's one thing missing, that this start time and all this can actually be null as well. Coming back to this one, I have the value of the meeting title, then I will have the value of what, after the meeting title is live, it's gonna be true, and start time, that's gonna be date dot now. It returns the number of milliseconds elapsed. New date. Now it just simply returns the date. Let's see what's gonna be happening. Usually new date returns what? Should I use date dot now or new date? If I'm using new date, I will have to use get time. One more question. Which one should I use for start time? New date or date dot now? And why? Oh, nice. This is very important. Short answer for storing start time, new date. A difference clearly. New date, start time, new date. Returns date object, just like this. Yeah, it does. Date dot now, start time, date dot now, returns number, timestamp in milliseconds. That's right. Which is should use this. Why works perfectly with the MongoDB date type. Easy to read, debug, build. Okay, got it. When you use date dot now, use it when you are doing calculations, timers. So at that time this needs to be used. Date dot now, start time. Best practice what real apps do. Start time, new date, new date. Duration is gonna be date dot now minus start time, get time. That's right, understandable. Okay, as we have to do this, so we are gonna be doing this. What else? And end type is gonna be new date, then later of course, and then we have to calculate the duration and all. Do we have to save the duration as well? It's good to save the duration if possible, and it's completely up to you. Get time will be in meeting end time, meeting start time, that will be in milliseconds only, so we will have to convert it to the seconds and all. So, or how to format it nicely for UI for 1 hour 20 minutes. Yeah, bhai, give me. There is a library that just simply formats it. Otherwise, I will have to convert it to the milliseconds and seconds and all. And this is how it's gonna be done. So, well, it is just simply using this to just simply convert it. Format duration gets the milliseconds. Great. And once it gets that, the total seconds are gonna be milliseconds divided by 1000 milliseconds, total seconds. Yeah. Hours. How will I be calculating the hours? So total seconds divided by 36. So total seconds divided by 60 multiplied by 60. So if total seconds divided by 60, so I will be getting total minutes divided by 60. I will be getting total hours. That's right. This is the another rule for getting the minutes. This is the rule for getting the seconds. So this is how you just simply, I will be copying and pasting. This is the mathematical step. And there are libraries as well. It's not like this is the only. There are some libraries that you can use, or I can just go with this one as well. This will be just simply returning what? The time. As simple as that. So alright, whenever the time is right, I'm gonna be coming back here and I'm simply gonna be copying and pasting this stuff and nothing else. For live meeting timer, or we can have the timer as well. And there are what libraries as well. Libraries in the sense date formatter libraries, date format npm. So yeah, this is the one of the libraries, date format. It will get what? Date format now, date, like how exactly you want, and just give it the current value. Like of course it's gonna be in millisecond if I'm not wrong. Date dot now, it just needs, and it will be just simply formatting that the way you want. So it's simple, either you create it on your own or you just simply use the pre-built libraries and the job is gonna be done. What are we gonna be doing right now? Meeting dot now we have end time. That's gonna be null for now actually. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. And once I have this much, so this all of this is going to be saved. Once this is saved, I have to check whether it's getting saved or not. By the way, once it's saved, I should be getting the response back. Okay. There is a problem. Even if I'm calling this save meeting action over here, then I'm gonna be getting the response, and then I'll have to set the state as well. So setting the state in the sense, I need to maintain a meeting history state here. Do I need to maintain the state? There are gonna be many users, and those users will have their own meetings. See, if I'm keeping it like this, that's not gonna be good. In that case, I need to have one more thing over here. That's gonna be user ID. User ID is gonna be object. It's gonna be coming from Mongoose, but I don't think I have that. Object type. Do I have Mongoose here? Okay, so as I don't have that here, so I'm gonna be just simply saying that you are gonna be nothing but type from Mongoose provided this type. Okay, right now I don't really have, so I'm gonna be keeping it string. This is but I will definitely have the user ID too. So once I have the user ID, I have to save the user ID as well. Okay, getting the user ID should not be difficult here. So the question is, how am I gonna be getting the user ID here? So there needs to be user ID that needs to be saved. And as for the user ID, I have current participant. This current participant doesn't contain the user ID, or does it? Let's see. So whenever the meeting starts, or not even meeting starts, whenever user comes here, probably in the dashboard page. So when am I saving the values? Whenever the user logs in, at that time I'm saving the current user information. Let me see what all values it contains. So Redux, I'm in the chat section. Reload the page. And action, set chats, instance to init. Alright, here we are. And when it comes to the current participant, it does have the ID. Now the question comes, is this the same ID or something else? So current participant, whenever the participant joins the meeting, so whenever he joins the meeting, panes.t6, here I have this ID. Where is this coming from? UUID4. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm creating it on my own over here. And as the user is actually saved in the database, that is the ID that I'm looking for. and that ID in this particular case is gonna be string for sure. But how will I be getting that? So if I actually go to profile, probably layout, I'm getting the user information over here. So I'm not really saving this user information anywhere else. That simply means from this auth API get session. If I'm just a minute, hang on for a sec. Alrighty then, let's continue. So I hope I'm audible right now. So ultimately I need to get the value of the user ID, and from here I can just definitely get that. Apart from this particular thing, I don't think there's anything else left. Hopefully I'm not saving it anywhere. How many stores do I have here? Chat, meeting, and meeting media. Yeah, that's fine. So in this particular case, I should be able to use this to get the values. Similarly, I would be using this here as well. So layout.tsx, I'm using auth.api.getSession. Auth API, that simply means server is handling this. Okay, let me be back here inside this page.tsx that I had initially. The main goal is to get the ID somehow. So what I'm gonna say or do. Alright everybody, here we are back. Because of the call, of course I had to leave. And finally, let's continue with the thing. And we were working on this particular stuff. So yeah, I was just simply thinking of getting the meeting ID. What the hell? Coming back to the main point here. I wanted to get the session. From the session, I wanted to get the meeting ID. The question is, how will I be getting that? So auth from @repo. What am I exporting from this lib? First of all, I'll have to even check that. भाई इतना भी नहीं. Lib. From here, I have auth client, and from this auth client, I'm exporting user session, and I have to use it there. So user session. Do I already have it here? Oh yeah, I'm getting, what the hell? From this use session only I'm getting data, then data dot this. That simply means I have this ID. Which ID is this? UUID v4. So the ID of the MongoDB and the ID of this particular user, they are separate. I'm using UUID v4 over here. Why am I using this? So that the main user's ID and the current user ID, they are gonna be different. Sort of. Why can't I use this data.id here too? I mean, what will be the problem with this? No problem as such. So ultimately, if I have a user in the database, the same ID it will have over here for the meeting. What is the problem with that? And that ID is nothing but the current user's ID here. And apart from this particular thing, whenever the connection is getting created, WebSocket connection, at that time I'm using the same ID. So why not keep it the same? Simply means data dot user dot ID, or probably ID. What is the issue? Possibly null. Data is possibly null. So I'm gonna just simply say that. Well, let's make it optional in that case. That would also be a better thing. And by the way, the data that is actually getting stored in there. So let me see what kind of data I have. I'm using Mongo client. Still, that simply means MongoDB is not being used. So let me connect it to this. The Google Meet project user. And it does have the ID. As it has the ID, so I should be getting the ID only from here. And that type is the object ID. That is the problematic thing. So ID should be like this. But the question is that this ID does not exist on type created that, updated that date, and then image and all. So the date that I'm actually getting, the ID does not exist over there. This use session simply returns me the ID just like this. So sort of this use session converts underscore ID with the ID, I mean replaces that. So okay, if I am getting the ID, I'm gonna be going with the ID. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. And apart from this particular thing over here, ID is gonna be replaced with the ID. So user ID is gonna be ID just like this, and hopefully it's gonna be fine. And once this particular thing is done, so overall chat should be saved. So let's try to create a meeting, and once the meeting is created, let's see whether it's actually getting saved or not. npm rundev. How many times will I have to enter it? So the meeting is sort of created. Once the meeting is created, inside this I should be getting the meetings as well. Well, we do have the meetings here. Let's simply refresh this. But I have only one. Do I have the user ID? User ID is empty. Let me just simply delete this. And apart from this particular thing, I'm gonna be closing this as well. And webcams, everything needs to be closed. Coming back to this one, local host 3000, and what? Let's go with this. Isn't it running? Well, not really. What was the problem earlier? Okay, getting the error as well. Great. What is this error about? So cannot destructure property subject from null or undefined value. Okay, it is unable to destructure the values from WebSocket server. So the error is actually inside the WebSocket server. The question is, it doesn't have the ID by default. That is the problem. So bin bun this. Okay, let me try to do one thing. Delete this. Oh well, that's bad. I'm gone. Literally. So the apps that I deleted merge with the original one. And hopefully it's gonna be moved. I just deleted that and then I'm recovering it right now. Crazy. And it's gonna be taking time. So let me just remove this, and hopefully it's gonna be quick this way. Cancelled. Restore from and merge it. Error while copying web. Cancel. Let me do one thing. Inside projects, video calling, Google Meet, apps, I don't really have anything right now. Delete this from here. So ultimately I'm gonna be having two of them. This one needs to be restored. So right now if I go to this, crazy stuff, let me open it. So I should be having the code related to the web app. Yeah, I do have that. And right now if I run ls turbo dev, am I gonna be getting the same error? At least, yeah, I am. And it is mainly because it is unable to destructure the properties. The change that I made here, that was inside this web app, inside app, inside meeting, inside page.tsx, meeting id page.tsx. somewhere here. So if I'm not wrong, it is unable to destructure the property of this ID. Let me do one thing. Forget about this, or the ID is gonna be nothing but the UUID v4 right now. UUID v4, just like this, and I'm gonna be logging the value of the data over here. So whatever data I have, just log the value of that. Hopefully this should not be problematic. Still getting that. So this use session, what else? What have I actually changed here? Date dot now. I'm trying to save the values. Save meeting history. Let me comment this. Well, I have missed something. What is that? I don't know. Failed WebSocket server /dev. So ultimately WebSocket server is failing. Why is the WebSocket server failing? Unsafe attempt to load HTTP localhost 3000 from frame Chrome. This WebSocket server source server.ts. Type session is not quite being used over here. That's fine. And it should be working fine. So what am I missing? It is saying that cannot destructure the property subject from null or undefined value. Which subject? Command finish with error. Command media, video calling, Google Meet, app, WebSocket server, home, Vipendra bun/bin bun run exited, WebSocket server command this run dev exited. Gonna be taking the help of AI to understand exactly what this is about. Control Shift C. Let me give it to this and see what it says regarding this error. This error is actually not random. It's coming from MongoDB TLS connection handling inside bun. It is. I'll break it down. So what error means that cannot destructure the subject. This means TLS connection being attempted, but the certificate is missing or invalid. No bun fails without verifying it. So root cause. This is usually happens when wrong MongoDB connection string, wrong cluster URL, wrong port. TLS mismatch most common with bun. Bun sometimes behaves differently with TLS than Node.js. Local MongoDB, but using SRV URL. But you are actually running a local MongoDB. Fix step by step. Check env. If using local, do not use SRV for and add safe connection. So this is the problem from the bun side. Great bun. If using bun, try this important thing. If one has TLS issues sometimes with MongoDB, option recommended. Node source. Network access. Let me do one thing first of all. Let me go to localhost, I mean MongoDB here. Just wanted to get it done today. Let's see how long it's gonna be taking. Coming back to this, should I be here? Learning projects, yeah, I think so. And let's go to database and access section. Probably add new user, not really. RP access list. Sorry, just suffering from sneeze. So this is gonna be added over here. By the way, this should usually not be the problem, but let's see whether this is actually the problem or not. And over here, okay, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Talk about this to do now. Earlier I was calling this, so it is mainly because of this, probably. I don't know, I'm just simply guessing right now, trying to figure out the main reason behind this. Server action should not be causing the issue. Ultimately, we are just trying to connect to the database. That's right. Okay, bin bun exited dot bun. Dot env, I have this. That should be sort of fine. And earlier I wasn't getting this error. Right now suddenly I'm getting. Most probably I changed something, but what could that be? It's been done. I mean, so let me retry to do the same thing. And database, let's go there, db, and chats. Ultimately I should have .env over here. I do have that, as I have this .env over here. If I go to client.ts, this is what I'm using, URI. Oh, my mind is going crazy right now, seriously. I have no idea regarding this error and why I'm getting this. Await client connect. This is where it is facing this issue. Client connect, right? Get DB. Error connecting to DB and error facing. Inside WebSocket server, it is just simply facing the issue. Something good. It hasn't disconnected this time because I'm using try catch block. WebSocket connection is listening on this, but is still facing this error. Cannot destructure the property. It hasn't disconnected because of the try catch block that I have used. But DB 292, this is the error. connecting to DB that I'm getting. Else start performance.now connect a user TLS secure connecting connect socket once resolvable. This rejected. Okay, let me give it to the chat GPT one more time, just one more time, and then I'll figure it out. I don't really have any other way anyway. For copying it I can just simply click C. It's gonna be copied. Tell me more. Now this is very clear. You are successfully starting your WebSocket server, but MongoDB connection is failing due to burn plus KLS issues. Let's fix this. For fixing this, cannot destructure the property of the subject means MongoDB driver is trying to TLS handshake but fails to read the certificate properly. Crash happens. Clean solution is gonna be bun run source srb bun run source server.ts. Use node source server.ts. Why MongoDB driver is fully stable with the node. If you still want to use bun, not recommended. Let me try this thing too. So what it is saying that, bro, whenever you are connecting to the database at the time, what you have to do, where is the server.ts WebSocket source server.ts. So somewhere here I'm trying to connect it to the database and okay, inside WebSocket server, how am I supposed to be connecting to the database inside WebSocket server? Not how. You are connecting somewhere. WebSocket, MongoDB database. I don't really have it here. Store state, meetings, helpers. Am I getting this MongoDB? Constants, types, auth. I don't even have a database over here. Forget about getting connected to that. By the way, if that is the case, then I'm connecting to the database here. It is just simply saying that node is not found. कुछ होता है इसकी तो अब क्या करूं? Okay, inside WebSocket. Why am I getting the error inside the WebSocket server, bro? I'm not using even the database over there. Am I using MongoDB URI? Where are you being used? Here. Control C and paste it here. Apps WebSocket server. That's it. I just have the URL, nothing else. Inside WebSocket server. I can even cut this thing. क्या बात है? किधर से आ रही है इधर? I have removed it from where? I have removed it from the CNV file, right? So invalid or missing environment. Oy hoy. Where this error is coming from? Got stuck. Mongo client, Mongo version, MongoDB source, bun run source server.ts. Inside this I have Mongo client. आ गया है क्या? I'm not using it, bro. Can't you see that? But I'm getting that simply means I'm not his. So WebSocket server cache bypass force executing bun run this Mongo client this invalid or missing URI. So where do I have this? Huh? Huh. So let me copy it. Control Shift C and inside package.db I have. So this is where the request gets sent and it is saying that it does not exist. Why? Okay, I have that here. I mean, I have the environment variable over here. SSL true. Okay, let's run one more time. Now it is saying that invalid or missing environment variable in Mongo URI slash this video calling meet package db dot at line number 4. But I have this here. So how is this connected to the WebSocket server? WebSocket server this. That simply means somehow WebSocket server is calling this. And that should never happen. Inside WebSocket server I am not even using the database. I have WebSocket. Constants types auth is here. Auth is using the database. Okay, got it. Coming back to this. So ultimately auth is using the database. Auth is causing the issue. Where am I using this auth? Here. Repo. And here, not here, probably here. So API get session headers. It just headers. Session doesn't exist. Close the WebSocket connection. Okay. And how am I getting the headers? New headers authorization bearer token. I'm passing the token over here. How am I getting this token on the client side? Am I getting the session token? Yes, I do have the session token here. So once I have the session token here, user is not logged in, bro. Isn't this the error? Session token is going to be available only when the user is logged in. So probably user logged out. Probably. And no, not probably actually. Let me run it. Let me do one more thing. Server.ts. This is where I'm trying to auth API get session. I'm very fine. So cut, try, catch this and CLG error and error. Simple. Let's see. Na 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 na. Okay, what is the next thing? Do I have these values here? uh, WebSocket server, here it is. I wanna check everything. Token is gonna be equals to token, and first of all, one thing is clear, that I'm getting the error because of this anti. Yeah, so I'm getting the error because of this auth API get session headers. Now I want to check the value of the token. Here we are, sign. It will not even trigger. WebSocket connection. How is the WebSocket connection ready? Okay, that is just connected. Meeting. And enter the name. Token, I did get the token. Disconnect. Everything is fine. So what is wrong with this? Auth API, I didn't even change anything here. Auth API get session headers. I already have the environment variable over here. With the help of the headers, it just simply checks. If I don't have the session, session doesn't exist, WebSocket close and return. Otherwise, error in WebSocket server. Let me stop it, start it again. Manifest.ml. Turbo div. So whenever I whenever I turn this on, I'm getting this error, and that is because of bun. Node tsconfig. I have this. Type is the bun. Is that it? Auth is nothing but this db. Argument type db. DB undefined, not assignable to DB. This data that I have over here. Get DB. I'm getting the DB from here. Let me get rid of this error. Now this should be working fine. I have the DB. It is not showing the error. And coming back to this one, auth. turbodem. Okay, so the problem is here definitely in this particular part, and this try catch is not working for some reason, because it just simply crashes everything. I'm mainly getting the error because of this particular logic that I have implemented inside WebSocket server. Now this changes. Your issue is not just MongoDB or Bun, it's also how you are using the session inside WebSocket. Let's break it down clearly. Session this, the problem is WebSocket do not have a request response like HTTP. So no automatic headers per message. Headers you are using maybe undefined, stale or invalid. Well, I do have headers over here. Okay. I'm actually sending the header tokens in the URL whenever the WebSocket connection gets established, and then converting that token into headers. So this is how I'm just simply getting it done over here. I can even share the whole logic and correct me what is wrong with the code. Time to copy. Main problem in your code is what? Global session very bad. Let session is gonna be this shared across all users. What happens? User A connects session set. User B connects uses the same session, and session becomes null, reused or crash. This can break your whole auth system. Oh yeah. Why didn't I think about this earlier? This is a core mistake. Runs on every message. Uses fake holders, headers, triggers DB call repeatedly. Burn plus mongo TLS crash. Root cause. Your exact bug. Headers set authorization token, and API this. Most auth libraries like NextAuth in custom accept cookies, not authorization headers. Session becomes in. Remove global session first of all this, then authenticate once during connection stream. Okay. JWT verify, this is not that bro, it doesn't get it. The AI still thinks that I'm using, first of all the AI suggested this thing, that's really a good one. I cannot have or I can have the session that I have at the top whenever the user joins. That session I'm using for what? That session here I'm just using for that. That session changes for everybody, that is the problem. If now you that is the global session, so it will always be different. So instead of making it global, I'm gonna be making it specific to that particular user. And this session, I still think this is right. And earlier I wasn't facing this issue because of this. Now I'm facing. Okay, yeah. this one. Okay, so I'm using a better auth for authentication. That simply means the token that I'm getting over here, that is not a JWT token, rather that is the session token, and that is why I'm just simply converting the token into the authorization headers and then simply passing it. Now I fully understand your setup. You are using session based better auth. The real issue in your exact code is you are doing this better auth, then session this problem. Better auth expects cookies, not authorization token. The most editors based on system. Arey nahi bhai, how many things do I need to explain? I have enabled bearer. कहाँ गया? I'll have to explain everything here now. DB and not DB, auth, this one, and index.ts. I have enabled bearer plugin over here. Won't it solve the problem? Now I can see your exact setup. You are using bearer. This is the key details. Short answer. No, enabling error plugin will not fix your problem. Your issue is not error handling. It's how session is faced in WebSocket and bunch errors repeat calls. What bearer plugin actually does, since you enabled plugins bearer, this means your auth supports authorization headers, authorization bearer. So this part of your code is actually okay, right? No issue here. Then what is the real issue? Even bearer plugin you are still doing this. This is still the problem. Why it still breaks even with bearer repeated DB calls? Yeah. On every message, MongoDB gets hit again and again. Burn this crash. WebSocket context issues get session expects HTTP like this. So you are passing manually created headers. Works sometimes breaks under the load. Timing and rest conditions. Multiple message arrive before session. Move session fetching to connection. That's good actually. That's actually really that does have a point. Why did I keep it inside this? WebSocket.session will contain the value of the session. I'm not getting one thing. Why did I keep it inside the message? What was the reason behind this? Like I could have kept it outside the message as well. Like I could have kept it here. Just like this. What was the issue? See? I'm getting the same, that's okay. In that case, let me get rid of this. The WebSocket that I have. Forget about this session as well. If not WebSocket.session, then I'm gonna be calling this. And no, that was even better initially. Let me see what's gonna happen here. Great, fixing the bugs. I never expected that I would get this error suddenly. Now your code is almost correct. Fix the biggest calling it session message. Remaining issues. Session is still a local variable, not an actual WebSocket problem, not accessible in other handlers safely, can lead to confusion bugs later. Okay, fine. Token authorization bearer null. This can be invalid. If not token, close this. That's good. Let me just simply copy and paste the stuff right now to manually check whether it actually works or not. So when it comes to the token that I'm actually getting over here, so in any case if I don't have the token, I'm gonna be just simply returning from here. Once I have the token, created the header, then the session. Let's check this thing out as well. Let's simply run this. Interesting, great job. Once I have this, after that headers, session, By the way, this session will be created only once, so no need to worry about like check it again. So I can just simply replace it with this. As for this session, let me get rid of this value from here, a variable. So this is gonna be fine. Only happens once. Attach to WebSocket, it's important. We can do it better. Let me do it now. Somewhere here, and on message, I need to pass the session here, right? So just like this, session needs to be passed somewhere. Do I need to pass the session here when getting the message? So on message, I don't really think so. So whenever I'm getting the message, connection ID, I'm already getting it from here. I don't really need to pass it. It will still get the same error. It's just that I have formatted the code a bit better, but the core logic will still remain the same. Ooh. The issue is bun plus MongoDB plus better auth layer. Okay. Internally, this does call MongoDB query TLS handshake Atlas uses this. Bun fails here, so cannot destructure the subject or null. Okay, fine. Root final. The bun is the runtime issue. This is a bun time runtime issue, not your code. So specifically, bun plus MongoDB rider happens. This okay definitions best. Run your WebSocket server using Node instead of bun. Away. TLS false. So try this, not guaranteed. Okay, fine. Okay, Node cannot really be used directly, so that is the problem. Even if I try to use, because the whole this particular section has been initialized using bun. So even if I try to use Node now, that will not make any difference. And earlier it was working, now it is not working. What is the issue? Okay, gotta do it later now. I may have to change the URL one more time. Probably this will fix the issue. The new MongoDB URL. Probably. Or let me do one thing for the last time. Docker process status. Hello. Let the Docker start. Docker run. Port number is gonna be 27017. 27017. Environment variable. Do I need to pass the environment variable? What was the command? how to run MongoDB in Docker. I'll even have to attach a volume. This is not the whole command. So run p27 MongoDB name. This is not what I want actually. I want something more. Something more in the sense it should be like I need to attach a volume. Volume is gonna be, I need to create a volume for that thing. Run port 27017 27017. Volume is gonna be MongoDB. Volume will be attached to /data/db if I'm not wrong. Name is gonna be MongoDB, and image is gonna be Mongo. What is gonna be the name of the image? The image is gonna be Mongo. It is gonna be running in the detached mode. Anything else that I need to just get it done here? So Docker run port 27017. Volume is gonna be MongoDB volume /data/db. Name is gonna be this. Hopefully this is gonna be right. And that's it. Let's run it. So I'm gonna be using local database right now, and hopefully at least this one is gonna be working. And then later I'll figure out what's the problem with the the online one. Alrighty, ls docker process status. Docker is running, MongoDB is running, and once MongoDB is running I should be able to connect it to this MongoDB. Let me try to do that. Open Compass and local configuration, edit connection 27017. No color. Local Mongo color can be this 7 connect. Here we are. We don't have anything, but it is definitely connected right now. That's good. What is the next thing that we have to do? Replace it. Replace it in the sense wherever I have this, it actually starts from the top. So let's go to the top. First of all, I have apps. Inside app I have web. Inside web I have this. So I'm not gonna be using this MongoDB URI. Rather, Mongo URI is gonna be equals to MongoDB / localhost, not localhost here. What is the name? Mongo. Forgot the command. MongoDB URI localhost. So MongoDB localhost port number and then my collection, just like this. Probably MongoDB. Localhost 27017 / my collection, that was Google Meet DB. That's gonna be the database name actually. Is this right? MongoDB localhost, this DB name, yeah, sort of. Let's try this thing out. So this is done in this particular web app section. WebSocket server done, and package auth.env, MongoDB URI constants, no need, database needed, and types UI done. working. There was something wrong with the URL that I was using. Probably I connected to that many times whenever the message was, and it was MongoDB was disconnecting me. Probably. So I was working on something else. I started working on something else. Crazy job. Finally in the meeting right now. It's been such a headache. Not a headache actually, but the I think main problem was that I was using it inside message, so because of that thing it was connecting to the MongoDB again and again, and because of that thing it just, I mean, I had to face the issue. The second thing, it is saying that session does not exist. Great. I have changed a lot of things in my WebSocket server. Session does not exist. User is not logged in. Yeah, right. Understandable. That is why it is unable to connect. So I'll have to sign in. What sign? I'll have to sign up. I'm gonna be coming back with the same topic in the evening as well. In the evening, I'm gonna be working on this application more. How long has it been anyway? It's been 1 hour 58 minutes. Let it be 2 hours. And once 2 hours are done, and then I'm gonna be just simply calling it. Localhost API / sign up failed internal server error. Why? A request failed, bro. HTTP localhost API / sign up email. This is the one that failed. This is done. This is done as well. Let's simply restart it again and reload the page. Try to sign up. It is failing. Internal server error, post request. This is the payload that I'm actually sending from here, and the request is failing for some reason. Oh, yeah. MongoDB server, MongoDB, this transaction numbers only allowed on replica set member Mongo this. You know what? I'm gonna be calling it right here. I'm gonna be back in the evening again. I will work on it for 2 more hours. And as for the errors, I'm gonna be resolving them. For now, let's simply call it. It's enough, more than enough. As for the saving the history and all, first of all, I need to fix this. Then the history is gonna be saved. And okay, if we better next time onwards use Prisma with this, that would be even better. Like, it's quite simpler. But as we have started and we have come this far, then of course I'm gonna be getting it done with the same tech stack only. I'm not gonna be switching the tech stack and all, and we'll be seeing the things how it works. As for right now, I'm just simply gonna be calling it, and we'll be catching up in the evening with the same topic, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. Bye bye, take care, and see you.